What's up, Tootie Gang? It's your girl Tootie Graham, back with another video. Y'all see the scenery, y'all see the title. Let's get straight into it. Make sure you guys like, comment, share, subscribe. And y'all, my life is a freaking movie. I don't know if it's a scary movie, a comedy movie. I don't know what y'all getting at this point, but y'all about to get it out. Okay, so let's get straight into this story time, right? So this is very recent, and what had happened was, this happened, I'm gonna put the date on here because I'm drawing a blank right now. I had a long day at work, okay? But basically, I was doing my regular. Yes, I was still injured from my knees, like a couple days before. So I was like, okay, I'm still able to move around a little bit, but not too much, right? So I'm going downstairs because I had ordered food. I'm like, okay, let me go grab it so I can come back. Mind you, this day that it happened, I had already planned that I was gonna go back to work because I was already out of work for like 3 days. One of the days was a holiday, but of course the injury was so bad, I had to take a couple days off. I will show you guys an update because of course the knees are still healing, so I'll give you guys an update when I do my, quarterly update, which I will be getting very soon. Anyway, so go downstairs. Next door neighbor, she has 2 dogs. One is hers, one is not hers, because she has people that will watch her dog while she goes to work, because she works overnight. So this particular night, I've had interactions with both dogs before and I've had issues, right? One's like a little bitty, I don't know exactly what it is. It's like a size of a Yorkie, but it's not a Yorkie. The other dog is a doodle, but that thing is massive. Massive ass doodle, okay? My boyfriend from the jump didn't like the dog just because how big it was, okay? That's neither here nor there. So I go downstairs, the doodle starts barking. Not thinking none of it. I've had plenty of interactions with it, and the dogs jumped on me plenty of times. That's what dogs do when they get happy and excited. They jump around. So I never thought nothing of it when he was just barking and jumping and whatever. So I'm walking past. I'm not even like by I'm not really by her anymore or whatever. As I'm walking past, he makes it, because she's here and he's like behind her, like towards the side. He makes it around her from the complete opposite side. Runs up to me. While he's running up to me, I'm not thinking nothing of it, of course, because dogs, I'm thinking he's gonna jump because he's happy. When he jumped, he immediately bit my arm. Immediately bit my arm. So I'm like in shock, okay? Complete shock. What just happened? So she's like, did he just bite you? And I'm like, looking at my arm and I'm like, yeah, he definitely just bit me. The good thing is though, he didn't latch. Of course, he's a doodle. Now, if this was a different type of dog, this would be a whole different type of story time, okay? Because, baby, that's the last thing I needed was that dog to latch on me. So, after he bit me, it was so quick, y'all, I promise y'all. It was like that. So, after he bit, she pulled him away instantly. And I had stuff in my hands. So, I was like, let me put my stuff down, like, in my car so I could see what's going on. So, I put everything in the car. And then when I go, because like it's cold, so I was layered up. So I was taking everything off and like rolling up sleeves and all this to see what the damage was. The damage isn't bad. I'm gonna input all the pictures and stuff for y'all to see. It wasn't bad, but you could tell where it broke skin. So I'm like, okay. Mind you, I'm still in shock because I ain't never been bit by a dog before in my entire life. So I'm still in shock, like what the hell? So as soon as it happened, I called my boyfriend to let him know, because he had just left the apartment like 10 minutes before me. So I'm like telling him what happened, and he's like, I knew I didn't like that fucking dog, da, 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 like going off, right? And he's like, are you okay? Like, I need to take you, you know, to go get it looked at. And I'm like, no, it looks okay. It hurts like a though, but I should be fine. So after that, that's when I had texted my manager and my mom to let them know, like, hey, well, I was coming back to work tomorrow, but yeah, I ain't coming back no more. Yeah. So basically, I had to, you know, put like Neosporin, clean it out. Well, not really clean it out, because it didn't, to me, it didn't draw blood. I didn't see anything, but of course, a scab is a scab. An open wound is an open wound, okay? So I'm like, okay, let me clean with peroxide, da 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 da, right? So I clean with peroxide, put Neosporin on it, and I put a Band-Aid on it for the rest of the night, even though it was uncomfortable, because the arm I got bit on is my dominant arm. So it's like, how am I supposed to do the rest of my, you know, nightly stuff without getting it looked at or whatever? So fast forward to the next morning, I wake up and I go straight to urgent care, get them to look at it, and da 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 da. He said, well, since it didn't, you know, go in too deep, you should be fine. Just to be on the safe side, I'm gonna put you on antibiotics. He gave me the side effects and all that, baby, them side effects of them antibiotics. Just, I know it's TMI, but your girl's cleaned out. That's all I'm gonna say. Your girl is cleaned out from antibiotics, okay? I was told I didn't have to do the peroxide anymore, which I wasn't really going to. I just did it just because I was told to, just to clean it off or whatever. He said I could still do the Neosporin and the Band-Aid. He said I didn't have to, but if I felt like I wanted to, it was safe to do so. So that's what I was doing. So yeah, that happened. So on top of my knees already being injured, now I got an arm injury from a dog bite. When I tell y'all, I was suffering. Okay, anyway, moving on. So that night, the girl told me that the dog was up to date on his shots and everything. So I was like, okay, cool, whatever. Blah, blah, blah. So as I'm at the urgent care, he asked me, he's like, when's the last time you got your shot? And I said, I don't know. So he was able to go back in the system to look, and he said, oh yeah, you're definitely getting a shot today because you haven't had one since 2009. And I said, oh, okay. Yeah, go ahead and give me one of those. So not only did I have to, you know, suffer with both knees, my arm, but now my upper arm, because they had to put the shot right here. And everybody knows that a tetanus shot, it, you know, it hurts for a couple days. So I'm all the way messed up. Okay, I'm all the way messed up. So after the tetanus shot, I was gonna go straight to the office to let them know what happened. Well, my boyfriend had called the office and they said that since it happened on their property, I had to get the police involved and do a police report and then bring it to them so they could do an incident report. And I was like, okay. So as I'm leaving urgent care, I'm calling them like, hey, send an officer over, da 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 da. So they send an officer over within like, cause where I stay at, there's like a police station right down the street. So I was like, okay, I have a feeling they're gonna send one locally pretty soon, so I'm not gonna go nowhere, because I'm like, I was gonna go to Walgreens to get like my prescription and all that, but I was like, I'm gonna just wait till after this police report. So I get home, I would say within 10 minutes of me being home, the sheriff got there, and we were talking. I was letting him know, showing him pictures of when it happened, and then I showed him, you know, in physical form what it looks like now, told him everything that happened. And he said that it wasn't required for her to show records of the shots and everything, but he would ask just because. So he did. At the time, the owner wasn't home. It was somebody else watching the dog. So they were able to contact the owner so she could send over the paperwork showing that, you know, he was up to date or whatever. So at this time, if y'all know, Malcolm one of them. So me and the officer was outside, right? Just kicking. He opens the door and he's like, y'all wanna come in? So he's trying to make small talk with the officer. I ain't mad at him, but he's trying to make small talk. And then instantly he gets like, if y'all seen the setup, Malcolm has his gaming setup, right? So he goes over there by his gaming setup, and the officer's like, oh man, what you playing? So then he said, oh, I'm playing, I think he was playing Call of Duty at the time. And he was like, oh, the sheriff, oh man, don't tell me that, man. That's the only thing I'm gonna be talking about in here. I ain't gonna be even talking about what she, what's going on or whatever. Joseph, the man, the entire time asking him, oh, does he play PlayStation, Xbox? They keep keying. They are keying. And I'm just like, sir, sir, he's here for a job. Calm down. So anyway, so we got all that settled, and he was like, everything looks good here. Do you need anything else? And I said, yeah, I'm gonna need, a report number, because unfortunately they need it for their records. So he's like, okay, I'm gonna go downstairs, write it up, and bring it back to you. So that's what he did. He hung out for a little minute, and then he had to leave. It was funny because while he was in his car, he was like, I bet y'all know how old he is. Classic Malcolm, right? And he's like, I bet she's 34 years old. So I'm like, okay. So when he goes back out, he comes in, he asked me if I have any questions. I said, no, I'm good. I asked him, and I was like, Malcolm, you got any questions for the officer? He was like, yeah, man. Are you 34? When I tell you, y'all should have seen this man's face. He was like, look at him like, you know me? Like, huh? He was like, what? He was like, yeah, are you 34 years old? He was like, man, how'd you know that? Like, oh my God, that man's face was priceless, okay? Priceless. He was like, yeah, man, I'm 34 years old. How'd you know that? And they just started kicking even more, y'all. It was funny as hell. To the point where they both were like, yeah, cool and shit. And I was like, this is hysterical. This is the moments when I wish I had a camera crew. These are moments that I be trying to tell y'all about.
Editing Tweety here. Shout out to Crystal Nicole for dropping those emojis in the comments. Back to the video.
Anyway, moving on. So the girl offered to pay for the medical bills and everything since her dog bit me. Well, after I went and got my prescriptions and stuff and got everything I needed, I went to the office, and the office already knew about it because she had already went up there and talked to him and did her report and all that. So when I got in there, they said, can you type us up your side of the story of what happened, just so we can have it for our records, because this is an incident report that happened on our property, so property management needs to know about it. Okay. She said, I will let you know that since he did bite you, he's no longer allowed on the property, so let me know if you ever see the dog on the property again. That way we can address it. I'm like, okay, cool. So fast forward weeks, finally got everything finalized with like the medical and stuff. It wasn't too much for her to pay, okay? She lucky I got good insurance, because it wasn't a lot for her to pay. Which I'm very shocked about, because 9 times out of 10 we ain't gonna talk about it, but insurance ain't insurance sometimes. But this time it did. For her sake, this time it did, okay? But I will show you guys a current picture of what it looks like. It is somewhat healed all the way. Of course, the area still hurts, even though it's been 2 weeks. But so do my knees. So it's probably gonna take at least another 2-ish weeks till I'm hopefully feeling like 100% again. But overall, I don't have PTSD over this. I've loved dogs since I was a baby. I literally had a dog as a baby. So I'm not scared of dogs or nothing like that. I don't have PTSD. Now, if the dog would have latched, it might have been a whole different situation. But since he didn't, it was just like a quick bite. I'm fine. I did unfortunately have like a panic attack towards the end of the night. Like the night it happened, like I couldn't even go to sleep. Like I literally had a whole panic attack, and I was just like freaking the fuck out because of it. But I think that was more because of everything that was going down at the same time, like the knee injuries, bite, like there was so many different things going on at one time. I think that's really what it was. It wasn't just solely because of the bite, you know. But overall, I'm fine. Thank God the dog was up to date with his shots. And like I said, thank God that insurance did cover what they did. Because she would have been paying me a hefty little fee if they were. Okay. Hey, she agreed to it. She ain't have to say that she would. She agreed to it. Okay. So anyway, yeah, that's that on that. I didn't want to give it to you guys when it happened because I'm like, there's so much that's gonna lead into it. So I wanted to wait until it was done and over with so I could bring it to y'all. Cause y'all know how I do. I don't like half-ass story times. I like the stuff to be over and done with. So I give it to you in all fullness. Okay. But I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments if you guys ever got bitten by a dog. If you have trauma, let me know. I really want this to be a conversation because, like I said, this is my first time ever getting bitten before in my life. So I don't want it to happen again. But if I do, maybe y'all can give me some pointers on what happened, you know, how to get through it or whatever. So if you did make it throughout this entire video, though, leave these emojis on the screen.